consult. Om Gananam Tva Ganapatigam Havamahe Kavim Kavinamupamasravastamam Jyeshthārajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspatana Shranvannotibhisseeda Sadanam Shri Mahaganādhipataye Namaha Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Om Shanno Mitrashyam Varunaha Shanno Bhavatvaryama Shanna Indro Bruhaspatihi Shanno Vishnururukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishyami Ratam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanmamavatu Tadvaktaramavatu Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Dear friends, we have completed the 12th Anuvaka. 12th Anuvaka is nothing but a repetition of the Shanno Mitrashyam Varunaha in a slightly different form. And after that, Shankaracharya has taken up an exposition of what is Jnanam and what is Karma. Vidya Karmanoho Vivekartham. That is what he said. Viveka means to distinguish what exactly are the limitations, the possibilities and limitations of karma, how it is totally different from Vidya. Vidya means Brahma Vidya, the knowledge of Brahman. So there were 5 alternatives, just to recapitulate, because we are starting after a long gap. There were 5 options which were mentioned by mentioned. That is moksha or emancipation or liberation, is it attainable only by karma? Or the second option is karma as primary and vidya as secondary. That is knowledge of Brahman means the Shravana Manana Nidhyasana as secondary. Or equal importance to both karma and vidya. Or vidya primary and karma as secondary. Or exclusively by vidya itself, only by knowledge. Is it? These are the 5 options. So the first option was considered and it was rejected. And the second option also, we just discussed in the last class. Second option, the Purva Paksha we discussed. This Purva Paksha was Evam Tarhi Vidya Savyapekshebhyah Karmabhyah Syan Mokshaha. You got it?
Yes, sir.
Please look into that text. So, Evam Tarhi Vidya Savyapekshebhyah Karmabhyah Syan Mokshaha. That means, okay, if you say that it is not possible exclusively by karmas to attain emancipation or liberation. So let me concede that, okay, we will also take Vidya as a sort of secondary, as a sort of accessory. Primary, karma will be primary and Vidya or this knowledge will be secondary. So that is what he said. Vidya Sahitanam Karmanam, okay, when it is associated with that Vidya, it can produce some special effect. Because something like a catalyst, you add some catalyst and it produces some special effect. So by mere karma, if you say that the result is anityam, we will add some little bit of upasana also. We will add some little bit of upasana or some jnanam to that. It will go on. So the result will be something which is nitya. And he gave the example of poison. Poison in some cases, it can become helpful. Though generally poison is deadly, in some cases, mantra yuktam, if it is associated with some mantra or something like that, it is useful. Similarly, dadhi. Dadhi means curd. Curd during nights is supposed to be not very good for health. So, but at the same time, you add some sugar or something like that, it is helpful, it is good for health. So, something like that, okay, you add something and then produce a different effect. So, let us say like that. So, he doesn't want to give up karma. He doesn't want to leave karma even after Brahmagyana. So, then he says, Shankaracharya says, it is not correct. Na. So, we have to read from here. Vidya sahitaihi karmabhihi mokshaha arabhyate iti chet. We read up to that point. So let us read now. Na arabhyasya anityatvat
आरभ्यस्य अनित्यत्वात्
इत्युक्तो दोषः. So the single sentence reply, that is arabhyasya anityatvat. So anything that is newly started, anything that it is originated, let us say, anything that originates at some point of time, it is something which is anitya. Anything that originates is something anitya. Karyam and karanam, there are two things. Mrut is karya, let us say at a lower level. Mrut is, that is earth or clay, let us say, that is the karanam. Karyam is a part. The parts, hundreds and hundreds of parts can disappear, but mrut is always there. So mrut is something, this part is something which is newly produced, whereas the clay is something which is there forever. Forever means at least temporary. We are talking at a Vyavaharika plane, not at the Paramarthika plane. At the Paramarthika plane, even mrut is, say, impermanent. So, anyway, so that way, anything which is newly formed or newly originated is something which is anitya, it is impermanent, it is ephemeral. Iti uktaha doshaha. So that defect has been pointed out. Then the Purva Pakshi says another, he gives a small, say, counter. So he presents a small objection. Vachanad arabhyopi nitya eva iti chet na vachanad arabhyah. Because you see, it is not as though I am saying that moksha is, say, caused by this, say, karma and upasana. Vachanam is Shruti. Vachana is Shruti. Vachanad arabhyah. It is not as though I am saying, Shruti itself is saying. Shruti, of course, there are some statements here and there. Like, so in this, say, Anandagiri quotes, explains this. Evam tarhi, nasa punaravartate iti vachanat, arabhyopi mokshaha nitya iti na vaktum shakyam, na shakyam vaktum, nasa punaravartate. He does not return. Na sa punaha avartate. He does not return. A particular person who has done this vidya, who has done this karma and also upasana, he does not come back. So there is a statement like that. Punaravartanam means coming back to earth. So a person who does this karma and upasana together, we have seen in this Gita Bhashya and also in Kathopanishad, that there are two things called Devayana and Pitruyana. Pitruyana is performing karmas exclusively, and then Devayana is something which is associated with meditation and then worship of a deity, worship of a god. So there, these people, they reach a higher level called Brahmaloka, and from there is no return. So nasa punaravartate iti vachanad arabhyopi mokshaha nitya iti. Though it is arabhya, though it is something which is newly commenced. You see, nasa punaravartate, earlier he was not in that state of enlightenment. Now he has attained that state of enlightenment. Why can't you say that is something which has originated afresh? Why don't you say that it is something which has originated afresh? So for that, the Shruti, the Shankaracharya is replying. Do you understand the question? The question is, so far we are ignorant, and suddenly by grace of God, or we do some Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, and then you become enlightened. And once you become enlightened, then there is no question of Punaravartate. In fact, this sentence, this Nasa Punaravartate, we need not even apply to Brahmaloka. Nasa Punaravartate refers to actual enlightenment, actual realization. Once you realize Brahman, there is no question of Punaravartanam. So, but the question is, that is also something which is newly caused. So that is the point. Shankaracharya is going to reply, or Shastra, of course Shankaracharya is quoting from Shruti only. So he is going to reply that you are always mukta, you are always a liberated person. It is only that you did not know. You are always an enlightened person, you are always a mukta, but that enlightened may not be a correct word. You are always a liberated person. But unfortunately, due to ignorance, you are not aware of that. Now that ignorance has gone, you are aware. It is not as though that thing is newly produced, it was always there. So that is what he is going to say. So the reply is, na ज्ञापकत्वाद् वचनस्य वचनं नाम यथाभूतस्यार्थस्य ज्ञापकं न अविद्यमानस्य कर्तृ न हि वचनशतेनापि
न हि वचनशतेनापि
नित्यम आरभ्यते
नित्यमारभ्यते
आरब्धम वा अविनाशी भवेत्.
आरब्धं वा अविनाशी भवेत्.
So this is a sort of policy statement by Shankaracharya. Nahi vachana shatena api nityam arabhyate. Even if you say that 100, even if you say 100 times, or even if Shruti says 100 times that something is arabdham, and arabdham is something which is nityam, it is not correct, because arabdham cannot be nityam. So this Shankaracharya, we know that he follows logic, he follows Shruti, not only follows Shruti, he follows Yukti. Shruti, Yukti, Anubhava. These three things are followed in Vedanta. That is, Shruti Vakya is there. Shruti Vakya has to be interpreted in accordance with logic. If it is illogical, then you have to give a different meaning to Shruti, because Shruti cannot be illogical. Shruti Vakya, it has to be understood, or you have to have establish some firm conviction in that by adopting logic. So that is the point. So let us see. Na jnapakatvad vachanasya. Vachanam means, I told you, Shastram. It is Shruti. Jnapakatvad vachanasya. Shruti is a jnapakam. You know, there are two words called jnapakam and karakam. You have seen it in Gita Bhashya. Gita Bhashya also, I think in second adhyaya or third adhyaya we got this line. Jnapakam hi shastram na karakam. Something like that we got it. Same words. Jnapakam hi shastram na karakam. Karakam means something which motivates you, something which not motivates you, which directs you to do an action. Karakam is something which makes you do. Karoti karayati. Karayati iti karakam. So that is something which makes you to do something is karakam. Shruti, at a lower level, it may be karakam. At a lower level means, suppose you are supposed to do a karma, you are supposed to do a yajna. So Shruti directly says, okay, you do this, you do like this, you do like this. Swarga kamo yajeta. Okay, if you want to do, if you are desiring some heaven, you have to perform a yajna. If you are desiring something else, you do some other Shyana Yaga. If you are doing something else, you do some Kari Reshti. So like that, depending on your wish, depending on your desire and all that, Shruti is directing, okay, you do this, you do this, you do this. That is at a lower level. At a Vyavahara level. At a Vyavahara level, Shruti may be giving some direction. At a Karma Yoga level, Shruti may be giving some direction. But not at Jnana level. At Jnana level, it is something Paramarthika level. Paramarthika level, Jnana cannot give a direction. You see, suppose a scientist is there. A scientist, he cannot say how an atom should behave. A scientist will only observe. He will only makes an examination. He does a thorough examination of things, and then he analyzes and he just tells what it is. A scientist will not dictate as to how science should be. Scientist will not dictate as to how science should be. So that is what it is. Simply, that is exactly what it is. Shastram is always telling about what you are. Shastram is telling that there is only what is called Brahman. And apart from Brahman, there is nothing else. And you are also that. If you think that you are different, you are ignorant. So that is what Shastram is saying. So Shastram is only Jnapakam. Jnapakam means it is only a sort of reminder. Jnapti, you know. Jnapti means memory. Jnapakam means that which is bringing something to your memory. That which is recalling something to your memory. Jnapakam is something which is recalling to your memory. It is just a reminder. It is just reminding that yes, that Kantabadha Manihara, that we know that example given by Shankaracharya, that queen who was wearing that necklace, and then she had forgotten where that necklace was, and then she was moving all around. When somebody pointed out, it is on your own, say on your own neck. So it is like that. So you have forgotten what you are. So that is what it is. Jnapakatvad vachanasya. You are already a mukta. Mukta means a liberated person. But just due to ignorance, you feel that you are bound. Due to ignorance, that we are, we think that we are bound. So jnapakatvad vachanasya. Vachanam nama yathabhutarthasya jnapakam. Yathabhuta means as it is, as it exists. Yathabhutam, as it exists. Yathabhuta arthasya of an object. An object as it exists. An object as it exists. Yathabhutasya arthasya jnapakam. It just tells. It is just telling what it is. So we have to remember these two words called jnapakam and karakam. Shastram at a lower level is a karakam. That is at the level of karma, at the level of mimamsaka. It is a karakam. But at a higher level, when you come to jnana, it is only jnapakam. It is not karakam. So that is why for the word shastra also there are two definitions. Shasti iti shastram, shamsati iti shastram. We have seen that also in Gita Bhashya. Shasti, shasanam means direction. Anushasanam, antevasinam anushasti we have seen. Shasanam, shasti is that is orders. It directs. It gives an injunction. So that is at a lower level. Shasti iti shastram at a vyavaharika level. But shamsati iti shastram. Shamsati, prashamsati. It just comments. This is what it is. This is what you are. It just tells. So that is shamsati iti shastram at the level of jnana. So jnapakam vachanam nama yathabhutasyarthasya jnapakam na avidyamanasya kartru. It is not kartru means a maker. Kartru is maker. Shastram is neuter gender. So kartru is also in the neuter gender. Karta is masculine. Kartru is neuter gender. Avidyamanasya kartru. Shastram na avidyamanasya kartru. That is, Shastram is not the maker of something which is not there. A scientist is not going to produce an atom. He is not going to produce some electrons and neutrons. He is only discovering, he is only showing what they are. It is like that. So that is it, Shastram. Nahi vachana shatenapi, even by 100 quotations from scriptures. The scripture has to be understood in a proper way. Nahi vachana shatenapi, nityam arabhyate. Moksha is something which is nityam, which is always there. That cannot be arabhyate. So this is a sort of statement about Shankaracharya's methodology. You see, Shankaracharya, he does not accept anything without logic. So it is only when it is legally, it can be legally validated, and it is also experienced. Shruti, Yukti and Anubhava. All these three things have to be there. Na vachana shatena api nityam arabhyate. Then arabhyam va avinashi bhavet. Nahi vachana shatena api arabdham avinashi bhavet. Even if you say 100, quote 100 times, arabdham avinashi na bhavet. Arabdham is always, arabdham is always vinashi. Arabdham cannot be avinashi. Avinashi means imperishable. Vinashi is perishable. Arabdham is something which always, disappears. Then, okay, now this second option also is gone. Now the third option also, on the same logic, third option also goes. Third option means that is equal importance to both karma and vidya. Why? Because vidya is leading in one direction, karma is leading in another direction. So that is why whatever logic has been told in this argument, he is applying to the third option also. So that is why he says, that is what he says in this particular line. Let us read. Etena vidyakarmanoho samhatayoho moksharambhakatvam pratyuktam. So samhatayoho vidyakarmanoho. Vidya and karma together in equal importance. Vidyakarmanoho samhatayoho. Samhata, you know, sanghata means an assemblage. Samhata means something which is assembled or mixed. So by this means etena. Etena means by this. By this means by what has been said above. The same logic is now being applied to that third option also. So that is the meaning of this line. Etena, with the same argument, this so-called samasamuchaya, that is mixing up this vidya and karma in equal proportions, even that also, moksha arambhakatvam pratyuktam. Moksha arambhakatvam is these two things, they will produce moksha. That particular argument, if you advance, that is pratyuktam. Pratyuktam is, that is also negated, that is replied. Pratyukti means a reply. That also is replied. Replied means here negated. That is also refuted. Not refuted is a more correct word. Then the Purvapaksha advances another argument. Vidyakarmani moksha pratibandha hetu nivartake iti chet.
Moksha pratibandha hetu nivartake iti chet.
Na. Karmanaha phalantara darshanat.
Utpatti
samskara vikaraptayohi. संस्कार विकाराप्तयो हि
संस्कार विकाराप्तयो हि
फलं कर्मणो दृश्यते.
फलं कर्मणो दृश्यते.
Your book says something different. Phalam drishyate only. Phalani drishyante. It cannot be drishyante. Phalam drishyate only. Utpatyadi phala viparitasya mokshaha.
Utpatyadi phala viparitasya mokshaha.
Okay, we will stop here. So this is up to this point is Purvapaksha. Of course, he is quoting some more lines. Then Vidya Karmani. No, not up to this point. Vidya Karmani Moksha Pratibandha Hetu Nivartake iti chet. Up to that point is Purvapaksha. Na. Now from na is reply. Karmanaha phalantara darshana. That is the reply. So what is the Purvapaksha here? Vidya Karmani means Vidya and Karma. Dvivachana. Moksha Pratibandha Hetu Nivartake. Mokshasya kaschit pratibandha vartate. Mokshasya pratibandha. Pratibandha means an obstacle. For moksha there is some obstacle. And what is that obstacle? That obstacle is avidya. All the basic obstacle for moksha is avidya only. That is ignorance. Ignorance of one's own self. The nature of one's own self. Avidya and also, of course, Anandagiri is also saying, Mokshasya pratibandha hetuhu avidya adharmadi. So Anandagiri is explaining avidya and adharma. Adharma means evil conduct. Number one, ignorant. Number two, evil conduct also, adharma. So, adharmadi, tan nivartake vidya karmani na swarupotpadake. So, that is vidya karmani. They can, here the argument is, vidya and karma, they can, say, remove the obstacles which are in the path of moksha. Moksha pratibandha hetu. Hetu means the cause. Moksha pratibandha hetu means the cause or the cause, the obstacles which are the cause. The obstacles which are the cause for moksha. Moksha pratibandha hetu means the obstacles which are the cause for moksha. And this vidya karmani are with the nivartake. Nivartake means they are going to remove. The vidya and karma are jointly removing the obstacles which are in the path of moksha. So that is the observation of the Purvapakshi. So Shankaracharya says, na karmanaha phalantara darshanat, because karma gives a totally different phalam. Karma's phalam is totally different. What are the karma? Any activity, it produces something. So anything which is produced by karma, it is characterized by four things. Anything which is produced by karma, it is characterized by four things. That is utpatti. Utpatti means it has an origin. Utpadya, samskarya, it is a different way of saying, but here in a different way he is saying utpatti. Utpatti means that is, it has an origin. It has an origin means at a point of time it has originated, it has got a life period, it has got some shelf life as we say, and then after that it is expired. it expires. So like that, utpatti is something. Samskara. Samskara means to refine something in two ways. Samskara, it can be refining in two ways. That is physically adding something and refining something. Or by vrihin, say, protshati, protshanam. Protshanam, you know, you take some water in your hand, you recite a mantra and then you sprinkle. That is by way of purifying. That is, you are, suppose there is an object which is there, you bring from the market. Many of our people, they do also. You bring something from the market, before using it for cooking, you do take some water, sprinkle, recite some mantra and then purify it. Or before offering the prasadam to the deity, you recite this Gayatri mantra and then sprinkle on that, purify, and then you say pranaya swaha, panaya swaha, etc. So like that, that is samskara. So you are adding some value. Samskara means it is a sort of value addition. Samskara, if there is any defect, you are removing the defect, you are adding the value. That is what is samskara. There is something called gunadhanam and dosha apanayanam. Yeah, there is a technical term called dosha apanayanam. If there is any defect, you are taking away the defect. You are adding a gunam. That is gunadhana and dosha apanaya are there in samskara. So utpatti is one thing, samskara is one thing. Then vikara.
change.
Vikara is it undergoes some modification. Anything that is produced, it undergoes some modification. Always it undergoes some modification. It can be broken, it can be burned, it can be damaged. So that is vikara. It undergoes some change. Then apti. Apti means after all it is attained. So till now I did not have a pen. So I go to the market and then pay some money and then get a pen. So I have attained a pen. And how did this pen come into existence? Because there is some factory fellow who is there in a factory and then he has taken some material and then he has forged this particular thing in this particular shape and then he has given to me. So this is something which is attainable. So phalam, any activity, any karma or activity produces a thing which is subject to these four characters. That is, it is utpadya, it is samskarya, it is something which is modifiable, which is vikarya, it can undergo some change, and it can also apti, vinasha. Vinasha also some people say, okay, we can say apti. Apti means attaining. Attaining means, suppose he gives an example of say going to a village. Suppose I say I go to a particular place. So gramam gacchati. I am going to a place. So I have attained that village. I have gone, that is, reaching that village is something, it is an attainment. So moksha is not something, it is not an apti like that. Or swarga. Swarga, attaining swarga is something which is an attainment. You do a particular yaga and then you attain swarga. That is an attainment. Swarga apti. But moksha is not like that. Moksha is just a realization. It is not, there is no physical going from place to place. Swarga, then you may put a question, where is that going, etc. Swarga, who is going to Swarga or Naraka or whatever it is? There is what is called subtle body. It is the subtle body which transmigrates, we know. Gita Bhashya, we have seen it in other places also. There are three bodies which we talk of. The physical body, the gross body, the body-mind, not body-mind complex, the physical body drops off. Sthula Sharira. The Sukshma Sharira is the Linga Sharira, otherwise called Linga Sharira. That is the Indriyas, the sense organs, and also the mind, and also the baggage of karma. All these things put together, roughly, these are the subtle body. So it is this which is supposed to transmigrate when the body, physical body falls off. The Karana Sharira is common to all. That is the Avidya, Maya, which is common to all beings. The very notion of I is caused by that Avidya. So the very notion of I is something which is common right from an ant to a dinosaur. So this is something which is avidya in the case of everybody. So avidya or maya is the karana sharira for right from an ant to a dinosaur. So that is equal to all. So it is this in between this linga sharira or this subtle body. It is this subtle body which transmigrates. So there is a question of attainment. He is attaining, a seeker is attaining that swarga. But here it is not like that. So for a realized person, all these bodies also disappear. This solar body, after he dies, it disappears. Sukshma Sharira, it disappears. In the sense, the Brahma Sutras and also the Upanishads, they say that his mind and senses, they merge in the five elements. Because this mind and the five senses are caused by the five elements only. The Sattvika component of the five elements. Prithvi, Apas, Tejo, Vayu, Akasha. So that is what it is. So phalam karmana dushyate utpatyadi phala viparitasya moksha. This moksha is something which is totally different. Utpatti adi phala viparitaha. Viparitaha means it is totally different. Viparita means it is totally contradicting. Moksha is something which totally contradicts all these, which is not at all, nothing to do with utpatti, nothing to do with samskara, vikara, rapti. Then let us read.
What happens to the Karana Sharira when once
Karana Sharira goes away automatically. Karana Sharira, that is what is Jivan Mukta. Jivan Mukta is a state where that Karana Sharira, that notion of I has gone. So the person, a liberated person, is just continuing the activity like a potter's wheel. That potter's wheel example is there. So he will just continue whatever his arabdha karma is there, he will continue to do. Like King Janaka, he was discharging his duty as a king. King Rama, he was discharging his duty as a king. So like that. So now of course, the Purva Pakshi is continuing with another argument. Gati Shrutehe Apyaha iti chet.
Gati गतिश्रुतेः आप्यः इति चेत्
there is what is called a Gati Shruti. Gati Shruti, of course, when Shrutis talk about, we, for convenience, the commentators, they give some names to these Shrutis. Gati Shruti, because Surya Dvarena Viraja Prayanti. There is one line from Mundakopanishad. There is what is called the Surya Marga, the bright path. Virajaha. Virajaha means this pure people of pure character. They go. That is the people who are there in that karma yoga path, and that is Nishkama karma. All those pure, the people whose actions have been refined or whose actions have been purified, they go through that Surya Marga. So there is one statement from Mundaka. So that means there is a statement saying that you are traveling from one place to another. That is, there is a movement. Movement, for the Sanskrit word for movement is Gati. So that is why it is called Gati Shruti. So for our convenience, Gati Shruti. There is another thing called Pravesha Shruti. Pravesha Shruti means Tat Sruštva Tadevanu Pravishatu. We are going to see that later. That is, Pravesha means entering. So Tat Sruštva, having created, it entered that. So that Shruti is called Pravesha Shruti. So earlier also we have seen some such name. So like that. So for convenience, this Shruti is given a name. So this Gati Shrutehe Apyaha. Gati Shrutehe means by virtue of the Gati Shruti. Because the Gati Shruti is talking about some movement from place to place. So when it is talking about some movement from place to place, you can say that it is Apyam. Apyam means it is something which is attained. So that last, say, Karmana Phalam, Utpatti, Samskara, Vikara, Apti. So he is saying that Apti is there. How can you deny that Apti? So that is what he is saying. Gati Shrutehe, because of this Gati Shruti, it is Apya. And he is quoting that Gati Shruti also. Surya Dvarena.
Surya Dvarena.
Your book, has it given the full mantra?
Next, Tayordhvamayan.
Okay, Surya Dvarena. The full line is Surya Dvarena Viraja Prayanti. It is from Mundakopanishad. Virajaha. Raja, you know, Rajas is Malam. Malam is all this karma or bad karma, etc. Viraja means Vigataha Rajaha. Sa Virajaha. That is, all this karma Malam has gone. That means a person whose actions have been purified. That is a person who is in the Nishkama karma and Upasana. So such person. So Virajaha Surya Dvarena Yanti. Surya Dvarena means through the solar path, let us say. Solar door. Dwara is door. Surya Dvarena. Through that bright door, these people they go. Then Tayordhvamayan. Tayordhvamayan we have seen in Kathopanishad. Tayordhvamayan. What is that? Say Tayordhvamayan Amruta. Amruta Bhavanti, something like that. Tayordhvamayan. Taya Urdhvam Ayan. Taya means, it talks about, Kathopanishad was talking about this Sushumna Nadi. Through that Sushumna Nadi, this yogi, he travels. Taya means, Taya Sushumnaya. Through that Sushumna Nadi, Urdhvam Ayan, having reached above, he breaks through this Kapala and then he attains, say that, moksha, he said. So all that is not talking about liberation in the absolute sense. It is talking about a sort of, what is this, a comparative or relative, a relative liberation or relative eternality or relative, say, amrutatvam and not absolute amrutatvam. So there we have seen it. Tayordhvamayan ityevamadi gatishrutibhyaha
Tayordhvamayan ityevamadi gatishrutibhyaha
prapyo mokshaha iti chet
prapyo mokshaha iti chet
na. So, ityevamadi gatishrutibhyaha, by virtue of or on the strength of such gatishrutis, on the strength of such scriptural statements which talk about some movement, some motion. Shruti is scriptural statement. On the strength of such scriptural statements which talk about some movement, you can also say that the moksha is something which is attainable. If you say like that, na, it is not so. Then sarvagatatvad gantrubhischa ananyatvad akashadi karanatvad sarvagatam brahma brahma vyatiriktascha sarve
ब्रह्मा व्यतिरिक्ताश्च सर्वे
विज्ञानात्मानः
विज्ञानात्मानः
अतो न आप्यो मोक्षः.
अतो न आप्यो मोक्षः.
So he says, he gives some reasons. Sarvagatatvad, this Brahma is Sarvagatam. Brahmagatam, Sarvagatam Brahma. Sarvagatam means it is all pervading. Sarvagatam, it is all pervading. If Brahman is something which is Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. Ananta is infinite. Brahma, you see, if Brahman is in one corner and then you are in some other corner, then Brahma is not infinite. You see, Brahma is sitting somewhere in high sky. He may be having a very big rod. But then I am still here. I may believe in him, I may not believe in him. So, which means that Brahma is not infinite. He is not somebody who is having any control on me. So, Brahma is something which is infinite. There cannot be anything apart from Brahma. So, that is why Sarvagatatvad, Gantrubhischa Ananyatvat. This is very important. Gantrubhihi Ananyatvat. You see, Gantrubhihi, Ganta means the goer. You can say, use the word goer. Say goer, we do not know whether it is there or not. For temporarily, we will use the word goer. Ganta, the person who goes. Gantrubhihi means Trutiya Bahuvachana. Gantrubhihi. Gantrubhihi Ananya. Ananyam Brahma. That is, Brahma is not different from these fellows who are seeking to reach it. These fellows, Gantaraha, these Gantaraha, all these people who want to reach Brahma, they are not different from that Brahma. They themselves are Brahma. Gantrubhischa Ananyatvat. This Brahma is something which is Sarvagatam. Gantrubhischa Ananyam. Ananyatvat. Ananyatvat again is because it is so, in that sense, Sarvagatatvat. This use of Tvat we have to see in Shastra. Sarvagatatvat means because it is Sarvagatam. Ananyatvat means because it is Ananyam. So that is it. Ananyatvat. Then Akashadi Karanatvat. So it is also the Karanam for Akasha everything. Akasha itself is Avakasha Datru. It encompasses everything. Akasha means A Samantat Kashate. It is that something which is shining everywhere. That is Akasha. The definition of Akasha is A plus Kasha. A means everywhere. Samantat. A, the meaning of the suffix A, prefix Sa, A is everywhere. Kashate. Kasha means Prakasha, shining. Cash, something like cash. Kashate. So this is A Samantat Kashate. And Brahma is something which is the Karanam for that Akasha also. So which means Brahma is all pervading. So Akashadi Karanatvat, Sarvagatam Brahma. So this Brahma is something which is all pervading. So you are not different from that. Nahi, did we read this? No. Nahi.
One more sentence. Brahma Vyatiriktascha Sarve Vijnanatmanah.
Oh, that line we did not read. Okay.
We read it.
Okay. Brahma Vyatiriktascha Sarve Vijnanatma. Brahma Avyaktiriktascha. Sorry. Brahma Vyatiriktascha. Brahma Avyatirikta. Vyatirikta means something which is separate. Something which is separate. Bhinna. Vyatirikta. You are sitting there, I am sitting here. We are Vyatirikta. Brahma Vyatirikta. There is something different from Brahma. Here Brahma Vyatirikta. Brahma not different from Brahma. Brahma Avyatiriktaha. Cha. That is, it means all these people who think that Vijnanatmanaha means all thinking entities. Vijnanatma does not mean anything special. Vijnanatmanaha means all jivas, all thinking entities, all intelligent beings, let us say. All intelligent beings, what you call souls, what generally is called a soul. So all these people whom you think they are independent, they are all different and all that, all these Vijnanatmanaha, all these thinking beings, starting from an ant to that dinosaur, all these Vijnanatmanaha, Brahma Avyatiriktaha, they are not different from Brahma. Then ato na apyo mokshaha. Therefore, moksha is something which is not attainable. You are already there. When you are infinite, where is the question of movement within in that infinite? If you are not infinite, you are here and then you have to go to some other place. You can sit in a rocket and go to the moon. But you are infinite. If you are infinite, there is no question of movement within infinity. So like that. Then ganturanyat
गन्तुरन्यत्
भिन्न देशं च भवति
विभिन्नदेशं च भवति
गन्तव्यम.
गन्तव्यम्.
So this gantavyam means a destination. You can say gantavyam, the place. That how, what is the nature of the destination? Gantuhu anyat vibhinna desham cha bhavati. Yeah, vibhinna also is there. Ganturanyah anyad vibhinna desham cha bhavati gantavyam. This gantavyam, this destination is of the nature of something which is different from Ganta. Ganta is there, you are here, Delhi is somewhere else. You have to go to Delhi. So Delhi is something which is different from you. So gantuhu anyat. It is different from Ganta. Gantuhu anyat. Vibhinna desham cha bhavati. It is something which is a different place. That is gantavyam, will be some such thing. But here it is not like that. Nahi yenaiva avyatiristam yat tat tenaiva gamyate. Yena yat avyatiristam. Simply splitting you have to see properly. Yenaiva avyatiristam yat tat tenaiva gamyate. You see, yat yena avyatiristam. Something which is not different from B. A, which is not different from X, say, let us say. A, let us forget about that A and X. Something which is not different from something else. Something which is not different. Yat yena avyatiritam. Something which is not different from something else. Tat tenaiva gamyate. When you are not different from that, there is no question of going to that. You are not different from yourself. So there is no question of you going into yourself. So it is like that. And the sentence only is slightly complicated, not complicated, the structure. Yat yenaiva avyatiritam. That which is inseparable from something. There is no question of going into that. Na tenaiva gamyate. This nahi applies to that nahi tat tenaiva gamyate. Nahi applies to that last word. Tat tenaiva nahi gamyate. Something you are the seeker, you are the destination. You are the seeker, you are the destination. When that is so, when there is the question of movement, you are the seeker and you are the destination, there is no question of movement. Then ato, sorry, where is it? Not ato. तदनन्यत्व प्रसिद्धिश्च तत् सृष्ट्वा तदेवानुप्राविशत् क्षेत्रज्ञं चापि मां विद्धि इत्येवमादि श्रुति स्मृति शतेभ्यः. So there are hundreds of Shruti Vakyas and Smruti Vakyas. Shankaracharya says Shruti Smruti Shatebhyah. There are hundreds of lines from Shruti and also from Smruti. Saying what? Tad Ananyatva Prasiddhisya. You see, this seeker is not something different from what is the destination. The seeker is the same as the destination. Seeker and the goal, but they are one and the same. Tad Ananyatva Prasiddhi. Prasiddhi means it is so well known, it is so famous. Tad Ananyatva. Ananyatva means that inseparable, not inseparability, that non-difference. Ananyatva, it is not inseparability. Inseparability, there may be two things which are hooked. It is non-different. So, tad ananyatva prasiddhisya. What are the Shrutis? Tat sruštva tadeva anupravishat. Having created. We are going to see this line, this second adhyaya, second valli, that is Brahmananda valli. We are going to see this line, tat sruštva tadeva anupravishatu. There is a big vyakya for that. This is called anupravesha shruti. It is otherwise called pravesha shruti or anupravesha shruti, because it is talking about pravesha, anupravishat. That is, he having created, he entered that. So what is the way of, what is, how is it to be understood? So suppose you create something and you enter it. So you have created some pen or something like that and you enter it. So what does it mean? In what manner has to be understood? It means that you are not different from that. You are not different from that. So that way, that we are going to see a very detailed, say, bhashyam for that. Then similar line we have seen in Gita Bhashya, Kshetragnyanchapi maam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. You see, in the beginning, he told about Kshetram. Then he told about Kshetragnyayor jnanam yattad jnanam matirmama, that is what he said. The knowledge of what is Kshetra and what is Kshetragnya, that is the field and the field knower, that is the real jnanam, he said. Then it is not only the Kshetragnya chapi mam vidhi. I am the Kshetram, I am the Kshetragnya also. So that is what we have seen there in that Gita Bhashya. So this what you call the seeker is not different from the destination. Ityevam adi shruti smruti shatebhyah. Like this there are hundreds of lines from scriptures. Then he is called, Purvapakshi is quoting another thing. There is what is called Aishwarya Shruti, Gatyaishwarya Shruti. Gati Shruti, Aishwarya Shruti, combinedly it is called Gatyaishwarya. Aishwarya means lording over. Aishwarya does not mean wealth here. Aishwarya means lording over. That is, a person who has attained this Brahmaloka, so he can say all the things, what all he wants he can become. What all he wants he can become. So that is what is his domination. That is what is called Aishwarya. Aishwarya means is all pervading nature, all commanding nature, all commanding ability, let us say. That is the Aishwarya. Lordship. Ishvara, Ishvarasya bhavaha Aishwaryam, isn't it? Ishvara means Ishate. Ishate means lords over. Ishate, you know that word Isha. Ishate means lords over. Ishvarasya bhavaha Aishwaryam. So Aishwarya Shruti. So what is that Aishwarya Shruti saying? Let us read this line. Gatyaishwaryadi Shruti virodha iti chet.
Gatyaishwaryadi Shruti virodha iti chet.
So there is the brief say Purvapaksha, and he is explaining the Purvapaksha. Athapi syad yadyaprápyo mokshaha tada gatishrutinam sa ekadha bhavati. That bhavati, is it there or not? Ekadha. Okay. Sa yadi pitruloka kamo bhavati. Fine. Pitruloka kamo bhavati. Stribhirva yanairva. Ityadi shrutinancha. Kopah syad iti chet. Na.
No.
So up to this point, Kopasya iti chet, up to this point, this Purvapaksha. What is this Purvapaksha? So when you say that the seeker and the destination are both on one and the same, there is what is called Gati Shruti and Aishwarya Shruti. Okay, you have refuted the Gati Shruti. Then what about this Aishwarya Shruti? Gatyaishwaryadi Shruti virodha. What you are saying is opposing that, it is contradicting that Aishwarya Shruti, and you can't contradict the Shruti. Athapi syat. It is to be seen. It is seen here that yadi aprapyo mokshaha. If you say that moksha is something which is aprapya, that is not newly attained, not something which is newly attained, there is no question of movement in that moksha. Yadi aprapya mokshaha tada gati shrutinam kopah syat. Gati shruti. There is a gati shruti. What is this? Sa ekadha bhavati. So this is these are from these Upanishads, other Upanishads, that is Chandogya Upanishad. Then sa yadi pitruloka kamo bhavati. Sa ekada bhavati means he becomes one, he becomes three, he becomes many. In whatever manner he wants, he can be like that. So that is what he tells about a realized person. Then here it also says sa yadi one second. Sa yadi pitruloka kamo bhavati. So if he wants to go to Pitruloka, he can go to Pitruloka. Pitruloka kamaha means he wants to see the Pitruloka, he can go to Pitruloka. Or in other words, if he wants to see his Pitaraha, that is his forefathers, ancestors, he can see them. Then if he wants to see Brahmaloka, he can go to Brahmaloka. He wants to see some other Loka, he can go to some other Loka. Because a realized person is something which is like Brahman. Brahma is something which is infinite. And in that infinity only all these things are, whatever you visualize as Pitruloka, whatever you visualize as heaven, whatever you visualize as Shivaloka, or whatever you visualize as Vishnu Loka, all these lokas are there in that infinity only. So this realized person is somebody, in whatever form he wants, in whatever manner he wants, he can see all those things. So he is beyond all that. So that is the meaning there. So, but then this Purvapakshi is saying seeing it in a different way. Purvapakshi is saying that there is what is called movement. Sa ekada bhavati. This is Aishwarya Shruti. So he can become many. He can lord over. Then Sayadi Pitruloka Kamo Bhavati. If he wants to go to Pitruloka, he can go to Pitruloka. If he wants to go to some other loka, he can go there. Then Stribhirva, Yanairva. He can have, say, this three, all these divine women, all these, the women who are supposed to be there in heaven, these divine damsels, as we say, all these Stribhirva, Yanairva, in whatever manner he can enjoy. Stribhihiva, Yanairva. Maybe because of these statements only, our people have written about, say, Krishna, dancing with some 16,000 women, gopikas and things like that. Maybe because to show that a realized person is somebody who is unattached with anything, who is unattached to anything. Like these statements in the Upanishad, these statements in the Upanishads basically, they basically show that a jnani, he may be, say he may be doing his daily activities, whatever is the prarabdha karma. Prarabdha karma, according to prarabdha karma, a jnani is having a wife, he is having children, he is also ruling a kingdom like King Janaka, like that. So in order to illustrate something, probably these things, such statements are there. But then maybe somebody who wrote Bhagavatam, so he might have thought, okay, let us introduce this element also, because Krishna is God, or if you take Krishna as an avatara, that avatara and again a fully realized person, so he can do anything, so nothing taints him. So in order to show that all these activities do not taint Lord Krishna, they might have shown like that, but unfortunately that is being misunderstood now. So Stribhirva, Yanairva. Yana means you can have any type of vehicle you want. Yanam is prayana, you know the word prayana. Yanam is a vehicle. Stribhirva, Yanairva. You want any type of chariot, you know, in those days. Any type of apsara or any damsel, you can have it. Ityadi shrutinam cha kopaha syat. When you say that there is no movement, all these shrutis, their negation. Kopaha means not anger. We use the word kopa in the sense of anger. It is not anger, negation. All these shrutis will be negated, will be refuted. Kopasyaditi chet na. Let us read. Karya Brahma Vishayatvat Tasam.
Karya Brahma Vishayatvat Tasam.
Karyehi Brahmani.
Karyehi Brahmani.
Striyadayah Syuhu.
Striyadayah Syuhu.
Na Karane.
Na Karane.
Ekameva Advitiyam.
Ekameva Advitiyam.
Ekameva Advitiyam.
Ekameva Advitiyam.
Yatra Nanyat Pashyati.
Yatra Nanyat
Pashyati. Tat Kena Kim Pashyet.
Tat Kena Kam Pashyet.
Ityadi Shrutibhyaha.
Ityadi Shrutibhyaha.
Virodhacha.
Virodhacha.
Vidyakarmanoho.
Vidyakarmanoho.
Samuchchayanupapattihi.
Samuchchayanupapattihi.
Okay, that is a different line. So Siddhanti is now saying, you see, you say that there is a sort of movement, and all this movement is in the case of Karya Brahma, not in the case of Karana Brahma. So we are now seeing what are called Karya Brahma and Karana Brahma. In Vedanta we know these two things, Karya Brahma and Karana Brahma. You see, Mayavachyannam Chaitanyam Ishvaraha, we say. Mayavachyana Chaitanya, you see, absolute Brahma means it is referred to in the neuter gender. It is pure consciousness. It has no doership in it. Then there is Maya, then Brahman associated with Maya. So there, if you are looking from the point of view of creation, resolution, etc., that is what is called Ishvara. If you are looking from the point of a Jiva, a cosmic being, that is what is called Hiranyagarbha. And of course, Hiranyagarbha, in that Hiranyagarbha only all these God forms are visualized. That is what we saw in Gita Bhashyam and Kathopanishad and other places. In that Hiranyagarbha, the cosmic being. So that is what is called the cosmic subtle body. So in that, all these things are visualized. So here of course the notes also, I will read out the notes. This Karya Brahma Vishayatvat Tatraha Loke Pratitayoho Aishwarya Shrutinam Cha. Karya Brahma, this कर्म हेतुर्न विद्याकर्मणोः तत्केन कं पश्येत् स्त्रीभिर्वा यानैर्वा सर्वोपाधिविषयभोग तत्र ऐश्वर्यश्रुतीनां प्रकरणे सामर्थ्यानुसारेण. Yeah, I will read one line from this Vanamala Vyakhya. Vanamala is that Achyuta Krishnananda. तथा च ऐश्वर्यश्रुतीनां प्रकरणे निवेश असंभवात् कार्यब्रह्म प्राप्तानाम् ऐश्वर्यसंभवाच्च सामर्थ्यानुसारेण प्रकरणमुल्लङ्घ्य सगुणविद्याशेषत्वकल्पनाद्वारा सगुणमुक्तविषयत्वकल्पनं युक्तमेव इति. एवम् अविद्यानिवृत्तौ कर्मणा. Okay, what he says is Hiranyagarbha word also is somewhere there. I just noted it. Nirvisheshasya Swatmani. Where is that? Yeah. Karyehi iti. Okay. Karye Hiranyagarbhakhye Brahmani prapte sati talloke striyadayo vishayaha santi. So Karye Hiranyagarbhakhye. That is Karya Brahma means that Hiranyagarbha, what you call Hiranyagarbha Brahma. When a person attains that, tal loke, in that loke, striyadayo vishayaha santi, na karanattvopalakshite nirguna vidya prapye vishuddhe brahmani. Not in that Karana Brahma which is called Vishuddha Brahma. In that Vishuddha Brahma, there is no such thing as the notion of I is not there. It is only when the notion of I is there, there is a desire. When the notion of I itself is not there, there is no question of desire, there is no question of moving from place to place. So that is the point here. So this Karya Brahma, okay. Na Karya Brahma Vishayatvat Tasam. Tasam means of all those things, all those Shruti statements. Tasam means of all those Shruti statements, they all relate to this Karya Brahma, that is Hiranyagarbha, and not to the absolute Brahma. Karyehi Brahmani Striyadayaha Syuhu. In that Karya Brahma, all these things like Stri, etc., etc., all those desires will be there. Because Karya Brahma is Hiranyagarbha Brahma. Hiranyagarbha Brahma is that notion of I. In that, you see, visualize that huge expanse of consciousness or ocean of consciousness. In that ocean of consciousness, there is something called a huge wave called Hiranyagarbha. That wave thinks that I am different. So this Hiranyagarbha is something which it has that I notion. So from that, all beings are from that only. That is, we are all some small sparklings. We are all Vispulinga, some small sparklings. We are also having that notion of I. So it is like that. So that notion of I, it is only when that notion of I is there, there is a desire, there is a movement, there is a going from place to another place. So that is what it is. Karyehi Brahmani Striyadayaha Syuhu na karane. Na karane means na karane Brahmani. Not in that Karana Brahma. Why? Because that Karana Brahma is of the nature of Ekameva Advitiyam. It is one, there is nothing else, there is no duality. It is only when there is duality, there is what is called goer and destination. There is a seeker and destination, it is only when there is a duality. When there is no duality, there is no seeker, no destination. Then, Yatra Nanyat Pashyati. Did we read this? Yes. Yeah, we read it. Yatra Nanyat Pashyati, Nanyat Shrunoti, Nanyat Jighrati, something like that is there. Sabhuma, Bhuma is that highest state of awareness where he does not see anything else. He does not see anything other than Brahman. He sees everything as Brahman only. He sees, apart from Brahma, he does not see anything. Na Anyat Pashyati. He does not see anything other than Brahma. That is, there is no question of a seer also there. So he becomes that. There is no, it is not as though he is separate and then this Brahman is separate and he is seeing everything as Brahman. It is not like that. He himself is that Brahma. Na Anyat Pashyati. Tat Kena Kam Pashyet. Then there is no seer at all. That Kena Kam Pashyet. Who is the seer and what is the seen? What is the thing that is seen? This is also from Bruhadaranyaka. Earlier thing is Yatra Nanyat Pashyati Ekameva Advitiyam. They are from Chandogya. Tat Kena Kam Pashyet is from Bruhadaranyaka. Ityadi Shrutibhyaha, from such lines. Then Virodhacha Vidya Karmanoho Samuchaya Anupapatihi. Then Vidya and Karma, they are contradicting. Virodhacha Vidya Karmanoho. These two are contradicting. So that is why Samuchaya Anupapatihi. So he is going to explain Pravilina Katradhikaraka Vishesha Tattva Vishayahi Vidya. Now we will do it in the next class. ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति।